and the Rays get her done on almost all front. Everything's bigger in Texas, including when you upset the home team playing on the road. Tampa Motormouth in the zone, behind the microphone, all crazy all the time, is of course the Rays get her done in Texas in a really good way. Everything went right. Well, maybe other than some questionable base running on a few occasions, as David Price goes 6 1/3 innings. Zorilla was a home run just short of a cycle, and down go the Rangers. Rays beating them and taking the first series from the Texas Rangers in 2012 in what many are calling perhaps an ALCS preview. Dare we dream? Price, of course, allowed just 2 runs on 6 hits while striking out 6 to earn the win, and then after Joel Peralta getting the job done, in comes Fernando Rodney after how about this 9th inning? Rain begins to fall. There we go. The Honey Badger retiring Michael Young. Then, singled to Nelson Cruz and then hitting Mike Napoli. But then does get Tor Alba to go down on strikes. Then slow roller towards the mound from Mitch Moreland. Rodney charged to his right, could not field the ball clearly, and then, Rangers had the bases loaded, but Honey Badger got his composure back, and then snaring a soft liner from Ian Kinsler for the final out. Of course, Ian Kinsler was cause for getting his manager, Ron Washington, ejected earlier in the game for arguing a ball and strikes call by the umpire as Ron Washington came out, had words with the umpire over the words the umpire had with Ian Kinsler, and promptly got tossed. How about this? It was an RBI fest for a 5-run game. Zobrist, Jennings, left-handed specialist Jeff Keppinger, Luke Scott, and Sean Rodriguez all had an RBI for Tampa, which has now won 9 of its last 11 games, including 2 of 3 in the series, defeating the evil April schedule that everybody feared. Just one thing, kind of hoping that if the schedule gets a little bit easier, that the Rays don't let up. Of course, there are 2 triples. Zorilla had a triple, Jennings had a triple. Just an absolute great night. Not so great for Josh Hamilton, who ended up having to leave after an injury, back stiffness, and is now considered day to day. So I have to wonder what's going to go on with that and how much that ended up helping out the Rays. And in one of those did you ever think you'd be rooting for this player type stories, Hideki Matsui has signed a minor league contract with the Tampa Bay Rays. The former New York Yankee and 2-time AL All-Star will report Wednesday to extended spring training in Port Charlotte. Of course, Rays are looking to add depth not only in the outfield but also at the DH position. The 37-year-old has played 9 seasons in the major leagues, including 7 with the New York Yankees. Matsui has had a .285 career average with 173 home runs and 753 RBIs for the Yankees, Los Angeles Angels, and Oakland Athletics. He hit .251 with 12 homers and 72 ribbies for the A's last year. The Vice President of Baseball Operations, Andrew Friedman, announcing the deal Monday, calling Matsui, quote, one of the most consistently productive hitters in the world, unquote. So we'll have to wonder if this does bolster the DH position, and he'll do platoon time with one Luke Scott. not going good down on the farm as the Durham Bulls are enduring their worst losing streak of the year and perhaps the decade, as they have now dropped 13 straight after a horrendous long 2-week road trip that included a doubleheader against the Pawtucket Red Sox after the game on April 22nd was rained out, and they dropped both of the games on the doubleheader. And even 2 games back is not helping out the good guys at all, as they've lost the first 2 to Indianapolis. And at last check, it's still scoreless, so there's hope for today's game, which is currently going on in progress. So here's hoping that anyone, even Reed Brignac, can spark the Bulls and get something going again. And it doesn't stop for the Tampa Bay Rays either. Schedule for this week after being victorious in Texas, flying home, no, not an off day or even a travel day. Rays pick it right up back again tonight against the Mariners coming into the Trop. King Felix Hernandez going up against Jeremy Hellickson. Start time 7:10 p.m. Then tomorrow, it's a Matt Moore Tuesday. Once again, Rays against Mariners. Game 2, Miniosi against Matt Moore. Then Game 3 on Wednesday will be Shields taking the mound for the good guys. Once again, a 7:10 p.m. start. And then, finally, the last game against the Mariners will be played on Thursday, an afternoon affair, as Neiman and Millwood would take to the mounds for their respective teams to close out that 4-game series. And, of course, a 3-game series starts for the Rays starting Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against the Oakland Athletics as the West comes over to meet the East, as, of course, the price scheduled for Friday. No word on who the Athletics starter will be. Saturday, everything is pretty much up in the air for both teams, and ditto for Sunday, as of course, like the weather, the game gets closer. So that's been your Rays recap for Monday, April 30th. Here's hoping that you're ready to spring into May and go Rays.